70% of unreciprocated domestic violence is perpetrated by women. That sounds outlandish. You're like, wow, but I've been told my whole life that it's men who perpetrate it. Like, well, I don't expect you to believe me, so I bring this.
We have the receipts. When is that dated?
This was it was updated in 2015. This original article was written in 2013. The original article from Newscast was in 2010. Now, the original article that was published in a Harvard Medical School site was scrubbed. Gee, I wonder why. Mm-hmm. Could it be certain activist groups? Well, this is the internet, and it is forever. This is a screen grab of the original report. Here it is here. Women admitted perpetrating more violence. 25% versus 11% of people who admitted it. When the violence is one-sided, both women and men said that women were the perpetrators about 70% of the time. Men were more likely to be injured in reciprocally violent relationships than were women when the violence was one-sided.
Yeah, because
wow.
Women throw like boiling water and oil.
They wait till you're asleep.
Cut you in your sleep. You know. I do all kinds of like nefarious stuff.
Yeah. Or if they just don't like you, they go to your boss and say, he grabbed my ass.
Yeah, they can do that too.
Get him fired.
Or they just say, he insulted my hair, fire him. And they're like, okay.
Wait, so there's got to be a story behind that. Is that true? Is that real?
There was, in one of the Andrew Cuomo accusers, one of the girls was like, he insulted my hair and I had to go home and I couldn't handle it.
Yep.
Oh, what?
And for some reason, Letitia James, the stupid Attorney General of New York State, was like, yup, that
seems good. That's harassment.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Listen, if you look like Frankenstein's bride and I say, hey, you look like Frankenstein's bride, that's exactly what I mean and only what I mean. It's not harassment. It just means you're ugly as shit.
Or one of the girls wore the Daisy Duke shorts, and he said something about that, and I'm like, but that's what they're called. Are you guys stupid or something?
It is, yeah.
I mean, if you come in and your meat curtains are hanging out of whatever you're wearing, that's probably going to get a comment or two.
Uh-huh. I mean, I'll certainly comment on it because I don't care.
We had a dress code. Oh, my God.
I just walk by a chick. You got a clipboard. That reminds me, I was going to go pick up some Arby's.
Thank you.
But it used to be that if your shorts didn't go past your fingertip, it's like when our parents were kids, they would send you home.
Yeah.
And that's completely normal. Like that goes back to what?
Forever
ago.
Yeah, before they actually started letting women wear shorts in public.
Yeah.
That was not that long ago either. What, the 40s, 50s, something like that?
Yeah, I remember in the 50s on I Love Lucy, they were saying, like, we need to go and do this right now. And Ethel's like, I'm not going out now. Yes, we are. In my blue jeans? Like, it was unthinkable. And that would have been like 55, 56.
Uh-huh. Hey.
Like, what did you want to wear? Your bathrobe to work? I mean, like, what?
Well, I mean, women they wear their bathrobes to Walmart.
We were behind somebody at the girl store Cub last night that had their like curlers in their hair in a bathrobe, and I turned to her and I go, "Is this person serious? Remember that?
Yes,
that chick who followed us, and she was like getting in her car, and I was like, what? I was like, what are you wearing? Why are you wearing that?
But the problem is, you can lose your job over that, and that's not illegal.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you are.
It's not illegal to insult someone's hair.
No, it's not.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen how Rachel and I look? The purple and green hair.
There you go.
How many insults do you think we get a day?
Probably like 3 or 4.
At least.
At least.
Well, my philosophy is this. If a woman has hair which is a bright or a color that doesn't naturally appear, that means there's a warning there. All right. Like, for instance, in South America, the arrowhead frogs or whatever, frogs.
The poisonous tree frogs,
Yeah, they are so goddamn poison. You lick them, you're going to kill 6 people. I mean, I literally, like, when I'm walking down, I go into the store and there's a woman with Ronald McDonald hair. I stay away from her because I know this woman is toxic. And I don't want to be caught in the blast radius.
She's going to give you a Happy Meal.
No, I want no Happy Meal. I want nothing. I just want to pay for my wares and get the hell out of there.
I mean, Rachel and I go into Walmart, and they're always like, "Oh, well, they have colored hair, so they must be going to steal something." We get that every time.
Yeah.
I'm like, "What is wrong with you guys? Shut up, go away."
I wouldn't think that. If I see odd colored hair, I normally think, well, maybe they voted for Biden. But
that's about the extent.
That's really about as far as I go.
Yeah, I got you. So what's the next one?
I was just gonna say another one of the guys who got raked through the coals in the Me Too movement. If anybody watched Prairie Home Companion or listened to the radio show growing up, I did. And Garrison Keillor, he's like the country's grandpa.
I remember this.
Minnesota's own Garrison Keillor.
Yeah, he is like the most G-rated guy on the planet. Got accused of sexual harassment because he held a door open for a woman and touched the small of her back.
With his hand.
That is literally how you were trained to do it in chivalry class growing up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, then he lost his radio show.
And I actually quit listening to
What was
them
it? All
after
Things
that.
Considered and Writer's Almanac.
Yeah. Well, I don't listen to any of their shows anymore as far as I'm concerned.
I think that's what they
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
He did both.
They can die on the vine. They won't get any of my time. I'm done with them.
I used to read those stories to my kid.
Yeah.
It's because he puts some of them in books. I'm like, I'll read some Lake Wobegon stories to my kid.
Well, yeah.
Yep. I
5
remember
minutes
those.
in. I'm enjoying them. My kid, he just soothes up my voice.
Yeah.
It's like, and Andrew Cuomo had one of those too, where one of the troopers was like, he touched my back. I'm like, lady, learn the definition of sexual harassment.
She
because
said
they don't
that.
think you know.
No, I mean, if you like,
It used to be
walk up-
obvious.
if you walk up and like grab just straight up objects in public, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's makes
That's
sense.
frowned upon, and I understand that is bad.
Yeah, and if you and I were to see something like that, we'd be the first ones to say, hey, dude,
Knock it off.
handsies in the pocketsies. If it was obvious that there was an issue.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're just having too much PDA, whatever, you're gross, but I'm not going to tell you how to live.
Yeah. I got
But if it's obvious that she's like trying to wriggle away and the dude's like, yeah,
that could be a problem. It could be a problem.
Dudes get physically angry when they see sexual assault going on.
And what people don't understand, it's like hardwired into us.
Yeah.
To protect.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, men will die to protect their kids and loved ones.
Yep.
At least that's how it used to be.
And yet we are bombarded constantly with the myth that we live in a rap-hay culture, despite the fact that sexual predators in prison tend not to fare too well.
No,
And those people are the worst of the worst, and they look down on those people.
Now, what is the stat for sexual violence in college? It's like 20%, 1 in 5.
Well, they claim it's 1 in 5. It's actually 0.03 in 5.
Yes. Now, you said you have a daughter.
I do, yes.
How old is she?
She's 16.
All right. So, a couple years she'll be 18, and she want to go away to college.
She
Now-
can't.
Well, just hang on,
She's
hang on.
disabled, but she pretends she's normal person.
Yes.
I'm just saying, if you had a member of your family, it was a female, going off to college, but you knew that 1 in 5 women will be sexually attacked, would you still let them go to that place? Hell no.
Nope.
20% chance? I mean, if I did send them, they'd go with a sawed-off shotgun, a samurai sword, or an axe.
Or a flying dick.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm going to encourage my kid to go to a trade school because college is pointless.
It's nothing.
It's an
That's
indoctrination
It
center.
is. It's nothing but
College
an
is so
indoctrination.
dumb.
Yeah.
Calling it the
fellowship
Department of
though.
Education is like calling it the Affordable Care Act. Oh, wait.
Well, there we go. Now,
Yeah.
let's
You
get
can
on.
see where I'm going with that, though.
This next one's about the
Yeah.
loose gay butt twerking queer committee.
Another myth that we love to hear about is that LGBTQ WTF LOL relationships are better. And they obviously don't do any of the same things that heterosexual couples do. 8 times higher rates of domestic violence than
I
that of
believe that.
heterosexuals.
Oh my God.
I believe that. I really do.
And that's a DOJ report.
Holy shit.
What's the date on that one?
Woo! I mean, not that we believe the DOJ all the time, but if they're saying something that's this against the narrative, that means there's no hiding the numbers.
No.
And listen, they have the Uniform Crime Report and several other databases where they collect all of this crazy data.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're saying that's the way it is, that's the way it is. When was this done? In 2017?
This is 2022, bro.
Wow.
This is brand new. This is July 28th, 2022. And now what's really fascinating about the 2021 Uniform Crime Report numbers is that over half of the reporting agencies, namely from leftoid cities that experienced a lot of summer of love action, didn't put in their numbers.
Wow.
Gee, I wonder why. Could it have something to do with the fact that with the 40% of data that we already have, certain non-melanin challenged holders of the penis now account for over 60% of homicides?
Oof.
Damn.
And if you factor in summer of love stuff, it probably goes up way higher.
Okay.
More than likely.
Sooner or later, those numbers will be released.
You can't tell the truth. It marginalizes people. Well, you know what? The truth hurts. And sometimes it doesn't use lube. What can I say? Actually, most of the time.
8 times.
8 times.
That's holy.
That's weird.
Woo!
But
That's ridiculous.
But it's people are like, well, because more than 2 people in a room means a disagreement can happen. And any disagreement can get physical.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
just how it works.
And you mentioned Cuomo earlier. We can talk about his shitty brother. When you have people who emotionalize their politics, saying that protests don't have to be polite and peaceful, riots are the voice of the unheard, violence is totally an answer to a disagreement, not even a conflict.
There you go.
There you go.
Now, don't get me wrong. Violence is the ultimate solution. So.
Well,
yeah. Violence is never right.
Well, no. I didn't say. I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm just saying violence is the end and the beginning of your problems. Like, for men. Well, historically speaking, if the courts are so one-sided that only a small portion always benefits whenever there's a court case, sooner or later, the majority of people are no longer going to have faith in that system. And if they want to get justice, they're going to get it outside the system. And that has been proven over and over again throughout all of human history.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine that we'll be seeing anything like that when you have states like New York and California routinely releasing violent predators back on the street where they reoffend or outright murder people, sometimes within 72 hours or less of release.
Yep.
I can't imagine we'll see any people going full Bronson anytime in the near future when their kids start getting whacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to happen.
Or have their kids stolen from them by a system that is now actively trying to make money off of stealing children because they want to feed perma patients to the big pharma system.
Wow.
With their puberty blockers and genital mutilation and all that horse shit.
Yep.
Well, if you look at Johnny Depp, he was losing every single case up until this last one.
Well, it's because he wasn't allowed to actually show his evidence.
He decided to have the case in England.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you do that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because it was an English paper that did it.
Yeah.
One of them.
I'm just saying that, I have no faith in our legal system. That means I have even less faith in another country's legal system.
Yeah.
It seems like that's more and more true because, when we interviewed Tim Stark, one of the stars of Tiger King, he was talking about how his lawyers would desert him and they would not let him say anything. And it was bad.
Yeah. And then you've talked to Matt now twice. You've also talked to Matt.
Yeah.
You know that even when you have evidence that outright proves your case, disproves the prosecution, sometimes they won't even let you show it.
No. Nope.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Crazy.
And Tim Stark says he's got buckets of evidence, and I believe him.
Me too.
I don't think he would lie about something like that.
They won't even let him talk.
No.
Of course not. Why would you? Because there's money to be made off of keeping that grifting victimhood train on the tracks. That we still keep hearing about rap hate culture. We know it's all bullshit. And then on the flip side of it, we can prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that domestic violence is actually marketed to women as dating advice. We did an episode on this. That's a book that's being sold on Amazon. It's called How to Keep Them on a Short Leash. And we found somebody must have really hated this book because they published all of the full text of it online.
Yep.
So you can go through here. This is written by Jessica Rubin and Lindsay Masante. So choose cute, not hot. Fill his dance card. Some of these things are pretty innocuous. But then you start to get into things like take a page from Pavlov. Let him know that unconditional love comes with lots of conditions. Never admit you're wrong, even when he's right. Every single thing on this list eventually falls square on the wheel of power and control.
You're talking about the lovely Duluth model of domestic violence.
There you go. Tire him out by having him move lots of heavy stuff. It's hard for him to cruise in a minivan. Here's a great one. Try a real leash. Number 22, children.
Well,
So encouraging women to, I'm totally on the pill.
yeah.
And then there you go. Wear him out by demanding opposing qualities. Wow. Tell lots of stories about all the male coworkers you fended off. In other words, pretend like you are a person with options. 3 words.
Like, two coworkers today. I could have anybody.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, that whole book is just a huge clusterfuck gargling Drano.
That's gross.
Unfortunately, in today's day and age, there are many women out there who have bought the equality BS to the point where they think men and women are attracted to the same things.
Nothing could be further from the truth.
We're
ridiculous.
not. Yeah. Like, for example, you give a woman the option of sleeping with either a 20-year-old virgin or a 40-year-old doctor who's fucked 100 women. They're going to take the 40-year-old doctor who's fucked 100 women every time. Switch the genders, the men will take the 20-year-old virgin every time.
And the men will get guilted and shamed for it, too.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we don't care if you're a doctor. Unless you want to perform CPR on my penis because it stopped breathing. I don't care if you're a doctor.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's nice if you're with a woman who has her own money.
Yeah.
I got it. But that is not one of the motivations for me to actually be there.
You know, we are
At all.
51 minutes in? But if she has more money than you,
You're gone.
you're gone.
Even if it's equal. All right, let's just say you have a 4-year degree. You get married to another woman with a 4-year degree. She goes back to school, and now she has her master's degree. And guess what happens? She is now looking for stuff for a new penis above that level her other penis was at.
It happens all the damn time.
Yeah, I'm surprised there isn't a bunch of dudes missing the penis with all these women doing the swinging around from dick to dick. That's a lot of weight, especially women are up to like size 18 now. That'll rip your shit out by the stalk.
Oh, I can't believe that's the average dress size now. It has literally gone up. It was a size 8 when I graduated high school.
I'm just saying that that's another thing that women don't seem to understand is for a man, when he turns 18, he is the epitome of expendable. And my evidence for that is all of the graveyards in other countries for all of our young draftees who got killed that were never sent home.
Yep.
You are expendable. And for you to get yourself into a point where women think you're favorable, you're going to have to lose weight, get in shape, get a job, save money, have the car, have the house, and if you can afford a boat, great. But that takes a long time.
Yeah.
It does.
So for all of that work, that man is going to be rewarded with a woman with an 18-inch dress size who has been
whatever 18
served
size is. I don't even know what I know. Size 18 is
like
an 18 inches.
37, 38
18
waist.
inches anorexic. That'd be creepy.
Well, 18 size 18 dress size is roughly 38 on a man. I mean, it's not worth it. And like quite literally, they're going to wheel in this broken VW Bug onto the showroom floor, and they're going to want Lamborghini prices for it. No.
Well, what's even funnier than that is that like you said, amassing all of that wealth. Men, for us, building ourselves up to be considered desirable takes a long time.
Yeah, at least.
And then, because men at their peak tend to want to, if they want to have a family, they will tend to marry a woman in their peak. They tend to marry younger. And now, the same people who want to bring Drag Queen Story Hour to public schools and take their kids to strip clubs will say that you're the creepy pedo because as a 35-year-old dude, you want to write a check against a 22-year-old woman.
Exactly.
Oh my
Wow!
That is insane.
Well, we took a class on suicidology, and like you were saying, young men between the ages of 18 and 25 are at the highest risk. And like you said, because they're expendable, and that's devastating. And we've seen it, and it's awful.
And they know it.
Yeah.
They know it. They're like, I'm expendable. It doesn't matter if I'm here or not. And they literally see no hope in the future.
No.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm here is I help those guys learn how to laugh. And then when they're in that dark, bad place and there's no light to navigate against, you basically say some jokes to yourself. Learn how to laugh at yourself, and you make your own fucking light and navigate your ass out of there yourself.
Tell them about
Pan's Labyrinth when she made the door.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know
movie.
if that's a weird thing to say, but
it's a damn good movie. Don't never ever apologize for a Pan's Labyrinth reference.
Yeah. And then I came up with the acronym CHILL, which is C.H.I.L.L.L, and it stands for calm, higher level intelligence, latitude, laughter, and if all else fails, live out of fucking spite.
Damn right.
Winning.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporters Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.